Warning from the world's biggest bunker builder. The world's billionaires are no longer hiding out in vaults till they die. To shield themselves from the repercussions of their deeds, they're constructing bunkers all around the world. Even the most likable one, Bill Gates, has a bunker, several hundred meters below ground, large enough to accommodate tens of thousands to millions of people. Additionally, some walls can endure a nuclear explosion. These are some of the biggest and deepest bunkers on the entire planet. You wouldn't be entirely safe in one of them, though, not even in a zombie apocalypse. Bunkers 300 meters, which is 1,000 feet deep, can be destroyed by 1.2 megaton B-83 warheads and other Earth-penetrating weapons. A deeper bunker would cost how much? Can you imagine living there? How can underground dwellings pose a risk? What are bunker buddies? We want to introduce you to Ron from Atlas Survival Shelters, the world's leading expert in the bunker industry. Ron discusses the technical details of bunkers in this video, including their uses and limitations. What kinds of bunkers are the highly wealthy constructing? What distinguishes a fortified structure from a bunker? How long will they be around? Canadian Prepper, a well-known YouTuber, speaks with one of the top specialists in bunker construction, who spills the beans on why the world's wealthiest individuals are constructing bunkers so quickly. For what are they getting ready? Do they know something we don't? An in-depth interview with Ron Hubbard from Atlas Survival explains why the wealthy are practically purchasing bunkers worldwide, fueling the industry's rise. The cost of these underground bunkers has doubled in the last 8 to 10 months, making them unaffordable for the average person. A bunker typically costs between $200,000 and $250,000, making it out of the average person's price range. According to Hubbard, many people worry more than they did 2 years ago before the COVID-19 outbreak struck. According to a rumor, Bill Gates has constructed bunkers at each residence because he believes that global unrest is 50% likely to occur in his lifetime. The bunker business is booming. Along with wealthy elite people like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, other celebrities like Kim Kardashian have started building bunkers. According to a TMZ claim, the 40-year-old founder of KKW, Beauty has no plans to erect an underground vault on her property. Unfortunately, according to People, one of Kardashian's neighbors disagrees and has brought legal action to halt the renovation of her property. According to the lawsuit, Kardashian reportedly intends to have 2 hills on the site level in addition to building an underground vault, subterranean parking, an associated subterranean wellness center, and a detached guardhouse. The neighbor further alleges that Kardashian is attempting to construct 2 high-pressure gas transmission lines, and expresses concern that this will cause catastrophic bodily injury and irreparable real-person property damage. He explains that 7 of these buildings are scattered throughout the United States that were constructed many years ago, had high-speed subterranean trains that never have to emerge from the ground and can accommodate thousands of people. Some people envision the bunker as a chrysalis where they can transform into their model selves, where preparations result in an entirely routine life from which they might emerge as a better version of themselves. Many of us saw this play out during the first few weeks of the COVID-19 pandemic. These stories contrast how preparation and bunker building are portrayed in the media as dark, dismal activities. According to my research, planning is ultimately hopeful, even if it is a little selfish. Preppers are self-centered because they are protecting themselves rather than trusting the government to do so. However, their self-sufficiency has reduced demand for vital resources and healthcare facilities, as many have made apparent during the current pandemic, giving what initially appears to be a self-centered endeavor and a humanitarian spin. The objective of a prepper, in contrast to a survivalist, is to support society through self-reliance. No one wants to enter a bunker more than they want to exit, according to Californian bunkers builder who spoke with me about this. Thus, bunkers move people and things through time, rather than across places. Demand for bunkers worldwide. In San Antonio, you may have seen extreme preparation programs like Doomsday Preppers, but many people are making emergency preparations because of the conflict, the pandemic, and the hazardous weather. People choose to prepare for the worst for a variety of reasons. For the pandemics, heat waves and tornadoes, among other natural disasters, as well as nuclear war and the collapse of the electrical system. Gary Lynch has been extremely busy due to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. According to Lynch, the CEO of Rising S Company, when Russia invaded Ukraine, our phone started exploding up the following day. Before I made it to the office, I was already missing phone calls since my phone only rings for specific hours. Lynch's Rising S Company, based in Northeast Texas, constructs bomb shelters and bunkers of all sizes, from the size of a modest garage to a home bunker outfitted with the barest essentials or even the beast. The ultimate multi-room bunker offers beds, a kitchen with more cabinet space than most residential kitchens, and the ability to produce your food underground. There is a plan for the rich, but you are not in it. Just a few businesses in the world would construct bunkers for the wealthy. They claim that demand has increased anywhere from 300 to 700% over the past 5 years. They blame societal upheaval and climate change for the increase and occasionally just paranoia. Millionaire Peter Thiel, co-founder of PayPal, has his own post-apocalyptic headways in areas like New Zealand. It conveys a negative message. The ruling class of the globe may assert that humanity has a promising future. They are hedging their bets. They're not stupid after all. They observe a world marked by escalating resource competition just like us. Mass shootings are reported almost weekly in the news. They witness massive fires and floods consuming cities, turning the skies blood crimson, and putting areas of the world into wasteland conditions. Over dinner, they're casually discussing it with their families. Who wants to live in all of this? They inquire among one another. Is there anything that can save us? The wealthy are different from us in that way that they have an escape strategy and aren't even trying that hard to keep it a secret. Even some of them take pride in it. They enjoy flaunting their bunkers. Ironically, people who construct bunkers are also the ones who make them necessary in the first place. They aren't merely profiting from their charitable entrepreneurship. For decades, they have drained funds from public schools to fund the development of a private education network. They are engaging in deception to gain admission to elite colleges. They are influencing our legislators to deny us our rights. To avoid having to live on the planet they are destroying, they are taking full advantage of every opportunity. Even if they aren't usually the coordinated, they aren't doing this carelessly. They have an idea of how society should be. We're excluded from it. You can bet on arsenals, fences, and security cameras. If you had a Tesla Cybertruck to make supply runs, you could live in one of these for longer. It is the ideal location to wait out the end of the world, freeing up space for when you return to start civilization. Millionaires and billionaires had already monopolized so much real estate in New Zealand that a rule prohibiting foreigners from purchasing real estate had to be passed. They are attempting to construct currently fortifications wherever they can, mostly in isolated areas. These days, everyone wants a bunker. Everyone I know wants their opulent bunkers. Every time we discuss politics or climate change, it comes up. If not, we would prefer a home instead in a remote area. The new American dream is to live in some sanctuary from the blooming chaos and uncertainty of the outside world. It is an egotistical daydream. Opting out isn't the solution. Hopefully, that will speed up things. More cooperation is what we require, not less. But we can still dream. We can imagine how pleasant it would be to have a few $1 million in liquid cash in a hidden bunker on a lonely hillside. Knowing that we would be okay even if our efforts to stop the environment's deterioration failed would be an immense comfort. If we had that, we'd all be able to sleep better. However, we don't. We're confined to one another. Finding a way to coexist and get along is in our best interests. Bunkers cannot be used to run a society. Around this time last year, I was discussing window bars and getting a gas-powered generator with my family. I'm glad we didn't do that because we couldn't afford it, in large part. Last year, we experienced fear. Everyone was stocking up on as much toilet paper and assault weapons as possible. Then we regained our composure and realized something crucial. We all reside close to one another. The concept of proximity is fundamental to society. We are reminded that we cannot simply do whatever we like by the sight and sound of the other people nearby. Our choices have repercussions. Living alone makes it simple to lose sight of this. It's one of the critical causes of metropolitan centers, liberal leanings in rural populations, continued conservatism. Conclusion. When you don't have to deal with individuals regularly, you care less about them. Empathy has been shown to decline above a specific financial level. When you reach a particular income level, you stop caring as much about those who don't. You are capable of defense. When you separate yourself from society and interact with it only through the periscope of press conferences and charity events, I suppose empathy suffers even more. Consider what transpires when a bunker is added.